Hi, I'm Reid, editor of the Edison Report, and I am joined today by Burt Grant and Jamie Eck, and we're here to discuss Leducation 2026 on its 20th anniversary. Gentlemen, welcome. Let's talk about Leducation and specifically the designer hours. First question is, how did it come about?
We've had people complaining over the years that there wasn't enough time for the lighting designers to interact with the exhibitors. And, there's distributors, contractors, students that are up at the booths trying to learn about new products. And the designers, I guess, complained that there wasn't enough time for them at the booth. And we thought about it and said, well, maybe what we need to do is have an exclusive time frame just for the designers, because the show is geared for the design community. And we want to keep them happy, and we want to keep them excited about coming to the show and having time to speak to the exhibitors.
Yeah, and being that that Leducation is a program of the DLFNY, Design Lighters Forum, there needed to be more of a focus on the design community of New York. I mean, I think they're the largest. They're savvy, they're professional, and when they get a chance to speak to some manufacturers, they really do need that in-depth time. And as you've seen, Randy, the attendance at Leducation, over 10,000 the last couple of years. It gets a little difficult to get those meaningful one-on-ones that these designers and engineers and architects. It's not just a lighting designer. We'll have architects, engineers, landscape architects. Anybody who's going to design with light is really who we're focusing these designer hours for, just to give them a little extra space, a little extra time to have those meaningful discussions.
Yeah, and originally it was discussed New York designers. But then we realized there's a lot of designers in New York who have offices all over the country, and in some cases internationally. And we decided that, this really needs to be for the lighting design community, or the design community in general, regardless of where they're from.
And what are those hours?
9 a.m. on Tuesday, the April 14th, 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. I'm sorry, 11:30 a.m.
They'd like it to be 11:30 p.m.
It's 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Now, originally, if I'm correct, at 9 a.m., this is when some of the agents would kind of bring in and have private showings with some of the agents. Is that right?
Correct. That was the platinum sponsored time prior to 10 a.m. And the issue with the platinum sponsorships, the way we used to offer them, because we don't offer that package anymore, was that people would come in, and because of the way this New York lighting community is, it really is a community. Everybody knows each other, and you start talking to one person to another person, and since it was really only 1 hour of special time that people were getting, they weren't seeing everybody the way they thought they were going to. So this is more of a way of taking that idea of that one-on-one time and just allowing everybody to participate. Let the designers in that community decide who it is that they'd like to speak to at that time.
Right. Well, I think this is another example of Leducation having a growing pain and solving the growing pain and making it better. Now, how will you police it? Will these designers have kind of a different badge? What if I am a lighting designer who works for an OEM? How does that work?
So if your title is lighting designer, and I understand the question, it was geared towards someone whose form and function is lighting design. But now the way the industry is morphed, lighting distributors, contractors, all those people, they all have designers on staff at this point. An engineering firm may have a lighting designer on staff. So the policing is pretty simple. When you register for Leducation, you can register for design hours. And when you do that, you're going to get a badge that's going to be, whether it's we're working on the exact way, but most likely, let's say it's a color coded system that for each hall, there's 4 halls, we'll have a security guard, and they'll be aware of, if someone has this color on their badge, they're allowed that early access from 9 to 11:30. Then everybody else will have access after 11:30. That would be different, because the question has come up. If you are registered for a presentation and you do not fall under designer hours, you still get to go to the presentations.
Okay. You talk about 10,000 attendees. Sometimes it feels like 20,000. But how many do you expect, how many do you anticipate will participate in this program? Any idea on the numbers?
I don't think we know that yet because we just don't know how many lighting designers from New York or from the nationally will be coming during that time frame. There's a new experience for us, so it's a learning experience.
Yep.
What
And
I could say, as of this morning, we have 500 registered already. Okay. And we're 38, 39 days from the show. And as part of our promotion for this, there are these, these postcards that we developed that the reps in the territory will be handing out. So there's going to be starting after this week, a large, and also all the table placements have been done. People are going to be able to start marketing where they're going to be at Leducation. So I would think 500 was just our initial hit. We'd love to see over 1,000, but we're not sure where the number is going to be. And even though 1,000 sounds like a lot, when again you think of the four different halls with 678 tables, there's a lot to see. So it's you won't be crowded is the short answer.
gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about the virtual presentation, which has really been growing quite a bit over the years. What are the dates and hours of that?
The dates will be on Thursday, April 9th, Friday, April 10th, starting at 9 a.m. both days.
Okay. And about how many sessions do you have with the virtual?
Approximately 12.
Okay. Okay. That is great. So, gentlemen, let's talk about now the overall show that starts on, I guess, Tuesday the 14th. What
Yep.
all do you have in store for the audience?
Well, on Monday night, the 13th, there is an event party for the presenters, and it's a celebration of the Leducation 20th anniversary. So media people will be there, presenters will be there, and past uh, board members, and it's kind of a celebration of 20 years, which is a pretty good thing.
Yeah, 20 years is amazing.
Yeah,
And this is going to be Monday evening, where and when?
It'll be Monday evening, 6 to 9 at 54 Below, which is right around the
54
block from the event space. We have approximately 150 attendees. That will be what we'll have there. We've sent out invitations, things along those lines for sponsors, for media. This is in lieu of having what we typically would do, which is on Monday night, we would have the speaker dinner at the hotel where the media can speak with anybody who's going to be presenting at Leducation. We felt it was the right thing to do, being that it was the 20th anniversary, to sort of bring everybody back together and celebrate the moment of 20 years in the industry with this program and the DLFNY promoting this, and a lot of the good works that get done by the DLFNY because of this, whether it's the scholarships, the expansion to Beacon Awards, helping out with New York Controlled. There's a lot of things that happen in the community because of the success of Leducation that we're able to then, expand that out into New York
And I'll just add one thing I'm familiar with is your support of the Knuckles Fund for Lighting
and the
Education.
oh
Knuckles
yeah,
Fund. Sure.
yes.
And that support is very much appreciated. Okay, gentlemen, as we wrap up here, Burt, do you have any closing comments?
No, it's just that we're looking forward to the show. It should be very exciting because again, the 20th anniversary. And as you know, in addition, we're also looking forward to the 2027 show, which, as you know, and we've discussed, is going to be a 3-day show.
Yeah.
So Leducation is growing, and we're excited about the future.
Okay, Jamie?
Yeah, so first off, thank you, Randy, for the time. I would say I'm really excited about this year's Leducation because again, starting off on a Monday night with just a look back to where we started, 31 tables with a couple of hundred attendees to 678 with over 10,000, and a lot of the partners such as yourself who have been with us the entire way. And Tuesday, a lot of the manufacturers reps are excited for the designer hours, so we know that they're going to be, when you come to Leducation, you're putting out your best and brightest. But the reality is, this year, with such a focus on the design of light, I think you're going to see some extraordinary product being exhibited apart from other things that you would be able to see in an office space or a regular trade show. And then being that it's the standard 2 days, we have plenty of time for people to see it. We will be providing lunch as we always do. There'll be the student lighting competition, which has really grown in the last few years, and the excitement. And, some of these folks go on to actually get jobs in lighting firms in New York because of the work that they do. So, seeing that growth at that level, it's very exciting. And then organizations like Wild will be there as well. So you get to see all the different factions of the lighting community.
Well, it does sound like a very exciting show. And some of the designers that I talk to really do look forward to that student lighting portion because they are there recruiting.
Hmm.
And I'm learning more and more about this. It's kind of a cutthroat, dog eat dog world in recruiting these lighting designers
Hmm.
because the industry is not producing enough lighting
Hmm.
designers.
Yep.
Uh, I guess it's a good problem to have, but I just think it is a wonderful forum for them. And then as far as the new products go, we always do our top 10 must-see products of the show. And I have seen a handful of those products already that have been submitted, and there is some neat stuff coming.
Yes,
So
there is.
very exciting. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Randy,
Thank you very
Randy,
much, Randy. Have a
Randy.
great day.